Morning everyone, Brian here from Rival USA. We've got the brand new 2022 Polaris Ranger 570 midsize SP here. As you can see, it's already got quite a good quality lower bumper here on this, but for those of you who wanted just a bit more of protection in here from running down the trails and for your headlights and just your upper part of the front of you here, or the front of your unit here, we've gone ahead and we've designed what we call an upper eyebrow bumper. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to go ahead, we're going to fit it and show you how easy it is to get it installed. Okay, so the next step after you've unboxed, checked that you've got all your nuts and bolts. First step is our bumper actually intersects or inserts inside the original bumper. Okay, so the first thing you got to do when you actually get to installing is to remove this end cap off. So the way you do that is just get a screwdriver, a flat blade screwdriver, and just pop it and work it around like that. Okay, until it pops out, and then you repeat that same step for the other side. Okay, so your next step after you've taken your end cap out is you're going to take your right hand side. If you're doing the right hand side of the vehicle, you're going to take the right hand side of your bumper. You're going to insert it here where you've taken the plastic end cap out into the tube. Okay, and then there's two holes here on top of the original bumper. You're going to take your 8mm by 20mm bolt with your washer on. You're going to put it in here in the hole. This is a bit easier if you've got a friend to help, but if you don't, it is still doable. Okay, so you just rest the bumper up against the bike gently. You're going to slide your nut in underneath here, and you're just going to get a couple of threads on it. You're not going to do it up tight, you're just going to get a couple of threads so it's just finger tight so it stays there. Okay, and then you're going to repeat that process on the back. There's another bolt here on the back. So you've taken your 8mm nut, you've put it underneath there, and then you're going to take your bolt and you're going to do the same, and you're just going to get a couple of threads. Definitely don't need to do it up tight, just a couple of threads, because then we just need to go ahead and put the other side on as well. Okay, so the next step, once you've repeated it and you've got your left hand side on as well, okay, we're going to take the center section. Okay, this is why you have to do it side by side, is so that we can put this center section in place. So this center section uses an 8mm by 20mm Allen key bolt. Okay, just to make it a little more decorative because it's up higher, more visual. So this is a lot easier if you've got somebody else to help you, so two sets of hands, but you can do it on your own. So take one bolt and just set it inside here, so you're only having to hold one side up, and then you're going to take another one of your bolts and your nuts, and then you can just slide it in here. That side will stay up, and then come around here from the back and put your nut in. Once again, we're only doing it up finger tight. We're not tightening anything down yet until we've got the bumper all the way on. Okay, now I'm just going to repeat that on this side so that this one stays on. Like that, okay, and there's two mounting sections on each side here. So you've got one here at the front and then one here at the back, just to give it that extra bit of strength. And one of the benefits of our bumper is it's got the full tube here, so it's nice and strong. So we didn't want to let it down by not putting enough bolts and nuts in it. Okay, these ones here though, I must warn you, are a little bit tricky, especially when you get to putting your you're trying to get your spanner in there to do it up tight. There's just not a lot of room in here. Okay, but again, we're just doing them up finger tight. There you go. Now what we'll do is, now that we've got it all mounted, okay, we can see everything is working, is going to go back and we're going to start by tightening down these two on this side, these two on this side, then these center ones, tighten up and pull everything back together and make sure it's nice and firm. That'll get the job done.
Okay, so to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to take, there's some Torx screws in here, we're going to take them out. We've already done that. There's one there as well. Then we've got some plastic plugs that we've already taken out of here. Okay, we're going to take this one here out. So basically just take a screwdriver. You can get a special tool that allows you to do it. Okay, but you can just use a screwdriver as well, just a flathead. Okay, just pull it out like that. Okay, and that'll just pop out like that. One here at the back. Okay, so taking them out. Okay, what the goal is we want to get this plastic panel off here. Okay, because we need to get some nuts in behind here. Okay, this side is the most complicated side because you've got the fuel cap, okay, and it's attached. So basically, what we're gonna do is just grab it by the actual lead, just give it a bit of a pull. As you can see, it's got plastic in here, which basically stops it from falling out when you're fueling up and whatnot. Okay, and it's very easy to insert back in later. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this panel off. Looks like we're going to take this one off here as well, just to make it a bit easier. Okay, take that panel there off, and this one should just come off nice and easy now. We get it up over the fuel spout and pull it out. Okay, just be careful. You got a little speed nut here. Just be careful you don't lose that. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside. Okay, as you can see here, we've already got this installed, but I'll just take it off again so I can show you. So as you can see, we've just got a little bracket here. It's got welded on nuts. We're just going to slide it in here. We're going to put our bolt through. We're just going to put our 3 threads on it. Okay, and as you can see, this is the design of where it mounts, because as you can see in the plastic panel here, we also have slots, so you can put those on, okay, so that you can then slide this panel back in. We can leave our bolts like that because even the plastic panel has got little slots here cut out for it so you can slide it on. Okay, the trickiest part here, and sometimes it gives me some hassles, is getting this back underneath this panel here because it's quite hard plastic. With that speed nut on there, it wants to grip. But once you get underneath it started, it's a piece of cake. Give it a bang in, lift it up over your fuel spout. Okay, all good, that's in now. So you can go ahead now and replace all your pins, all your plastic pins if you want. Okay, or you can wait until you've got the rest of it put on. Right, so now we've got this put back into place. The next part that we need to do is drill a hole out. We've already done this, okay, but you need to drill about 1.5 inch hole. You can measure the actual part of the rock slide that goes in there, but you want to give yourself a bit of room. The part of the rock slide is about 1.25 inches, but if you're cutting a hole, you want to give yourself a bit of room so that you can maneuver around, just in case you drill it not quite center. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our rock slider and we're going to put it on. This is where it can get a little bit tricky and you've got to be careful. So basically what we want to do now is we want to just gently take these out. You want to be nice and gentle because you don't want that bracket in there to move. Okay, now we need to just slide our rock slider into place. And then ever so gently pick that bracket up again. Okay, perfect. Okay, so then we've got a nice long bolt. We're going to take our drill and we have to try and put it through the hole in here, and then it's a hole that goes into the frame. Okay, then if we just take a small screwdriver, you can maneuver it until the bolt goes through, then you the screwdriver in, okay, and then you just put a nut and washer in here behind here like this onto that bolt. Okay, leave everything still nice and loose here for now. Okay, now if you come around the back, I'll show you what to do with the back bolt. Okay, so now last bolt, we're just gonna put our bolt through here, and there's a hole that's already there in the frame of the bike, and then washer and nut on the back. Okay, that's basically it. Now you just get it centralized. and tighten it all up and you're done. Okay, now that you've gone back and you've tightened everything up, the last thing you need to do is put your fuel cap back. Basically just hold it with one hand, just guide it in, you might have to put a bit of pressure on it and push it. It goes back in. Easy as that.
So right now what we're going to do is we're going to fit the fender guard, which is basically protects all this fender area here, goes from the front bumper down into our rock slider. So you've got three main parts. You've got an insert nut, you've got your big bracket that joins the rock slider and the fender guard together, and then obviously the fender guard. So this tricky little nut, basically what it does is it inserts inside the tube work here, and it's got a tricky little tail on it. So basically what you do is you just bend this over like this to insert that into the tube, okay, until you get in the center of that hole like that. Okay, and what that does is it holds the actual nut in place, so you're not trying to like juggle different types of things so that one person can fit it on their own. So then you're going to take this side rail here, and you're going to, if you've got an end cap in here, you're going to pop the end cap out and then insert your bumper in like so. Okay, there's a hole underneath here that you'll be able to see the nut inside from, so make sure that you can get that first, because you might have to pull it in and out a few times just to get it in the right position. Okay, so then you would take our 6mm bolt. See, like right now I've got to take it back out and move it out a little bit so that I can pick up the hole, which is going to be in, it's going to be the opposite. Perfect. We're just going to start our 6mm because we might need to move around a bit. Okay, now we're going to take our bracket, and basically what this bracket's job is it actually joins the fender rail and the rock slider together. It's sitting a little bit weird because we've already got the front bumper tightened down. So typically you would have this front bumper loose and the rock slider loose, and then you'd go back and tighten everything afterwards. Okay, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our bracket, I'm going to put a bolt, washers on with our nut, and then we're going to repeat the process for the bottom. Bottom ones are just a little bit trickier as there's not a lot of room in here, but well and truly able to get it in, no problem at all. Okay, that's basically it. And then all you do is you just take your Allen key and your spanner. You can use a rattle gun if you've got one, or you can just use a normal ratchet and socket. Okay, but typically, as I said before, you would leave all of this loose. If you are fitting it all together, you would leave all of it loose until you've got it ready to tighten down. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and tighten one up. Okay, and obviously you can fix this gap if you want to fix this gap up. Just loosen this off. There we go. That's about a normal there. So that's all you do, and you just go back through and you just tighten everything back up again.